Welcome, listeners, to episode 72 of Cocktail Hour. I'm Andy.
And I'm Rev.
And we are welcoming fantastic author Sandra Moran to the show.
Woohoo! Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I was looking at your bio over at your website. And listeners, she has a website. It's sandramoran.com. And we have to kind of be on good behavior. I mean, until at least we're down at the bottom of our drink.
Really?
Yeah,
and why
because
is that?
Because Sandra's a teacher. So, I had to think back on the teachers I had and how they just did not like it when I misbehaved too badly.
Yeah, strangely.
Yeah, but she's a college professor. That's different.
I was acting up in college, too.
Well, I have to tell you, I tend to get students the stink eye when they get out there. Because here's the thing. They tend to text during class or try to. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. I see everything. I see nose picking. I see, if they have this otherworldly glow coming from their crotch, I know.
What? Oh, my God.
That they're texting. I went to grad school. I don't know. Out.
Sometimes I have the otherworldly glow coming from my crotch, and it doesn't have anything at all to do with texting. It's,
this is usually, this is, and good for you. But this is anthropology. I'm guessing that they're texting.
Oh, good God.
The side don't tend to really, cause otherworldly glows. That's just my perception.
Some infections do, though.
Yeah, some infections do. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
And let's just move on. Rev and I... What?
What?
Rev and I are enjoying a whiskey sour, and clearly we've been enjoying it for a while. And Sandra's having 2 fingers. Is that what it is, of Maker's Mark?
2, 3, 4. However many fingers. Well, yes, I'm having some Maker's Mark right here.
She's having a fistful.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let me let the listeners know how you make this fantastic whiskey sour.
All right.
All right. You get a blend. Excuse me. You get a shaker.
Do you want me to do it?
No, I got it. No. Hey, come on now.
Drunkerson.
Oh my God, that's not right. Yeah, at least I'm not Tits McFarland or whatever the hell it is. Okay, so it's whiskey sour, 2 ounces of blended whiskey of your choice, the juice of 1 lemon, a half a teaspoon of powdered sugar, a cherry, and a half a slice of lemon as garnish. So what you do is you get your shaker. You put in your whiskey, the juice of a lemon, your powdered sugar, you mix it all up really good, you strain it into a glass full of ice, you decorate with the half slice of lemon, and you top it off with a cherry and drink it up. I, of course, decided to forego the cherry and the little lemon wedge because I am a professional drinker. I don't need that bouquet garni.
I have 4 cherries and a beautiful lemon wedge.
Oh, you do?
No whiskey, just that.
No, I made a double because it looked sad and small in my large.
That's true. I had to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. I had to get 2 lemons out, 4 ounces of whiskey, half a teaspoon of powdered sugar.
I've never had this before, so I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, I am too, actually.
It's kind of sweet. It's kind of tasty.
It's kind of like an alcoholic lemonade, but with a little bit more bite.
Well, they have the Lynchburg lemonade.
I didn't try.
Which is whiskey and lemonade from Lynchburg.
That's what Chris Painter had that.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, this one's better.
Yeah, I'm not mixing it with anything. I'm just straight up.
Hardcore. Damn, girl, you're hardcore.
Yeah. I am. I would have made a great cowgirl. I would go into the bar and I'd stand there give me a shot of whiskey. Neat. With a human hair in it. I would be really hardcore.
As long as it's not a pubic hair, you're good to go.
Okay.
I'm just throwing that out there. You don't
know. And I would frown on that.
I would frown on that. Are you kidding me? Oh,
as a cowgirl, I'd send that back and I'd say, oh no.
That's fantastic.
Because that's my way.
That's just your way, as we're learning. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. And there's just no way to segue my next little feature.
Okay.
I know, right? I'm trying to find a way to wedge it in, and as we're talking, I'm like, oh, there's no way to do it. Damn it.
Wedge.
Wedge.
Lemon wedge.
No.
No.
It was a nice try, though. No,
Thank you.
It was a good try. But here I go. You ready?
Yes.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/cocktail hour. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
And guess whose book is available now?
Guess. Come
yes.
Not yours, Sandra.
No, it's really not. No.
But
someday.
Melissa Braden's Heart Block
Ooh.
is available. Go get it because it's a good book and we really liked it.
Yeah, we did.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
She is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she's going back to grad school.
And what was that? Wait. What did you say about grad school, Sandra?
She's going back to grad school for
know.
her MFA.
Isn't that awesome?
I know.
Yeah.
She's going to be like...
It stands for motherfucking awesome. That's what it stands for.
It reads differently on the diploma, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Whatever.
Oh my God, that's funny. Oh God. And yes, Rev's right. I do buy her every year. Every year.
I'm assuming at the auction.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Every year. Although she did correct me.
That's what they tell us.
Yeah. Yeah. She did correct me and say that she actually didn't win one of the categories the first time I bought her.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
wow.
I thought she won everything that first year, but no, I think she didn't get the People's Choice Award. I think that's the one she didn't get.
She was cheated.
No.
She was robbed.
That's right. She was robbed.
She's robbed, I tell you.
Oh.
Next time we're going to do a Kanye.
We should pick it.
We should have been awesome.
Excuse me, Ann McMahon, but you can have the microphone back in just a minute. I just want to say, Melissa Braden rocks.
I think we should. You know, we could do that in Portland next year.
That's right.
Yeah, no.
And speaking of winners, hey, there's the segue.
That was much better.
Don't we have winners to announce from the last show?
Well, we're giving away a swag bag to one lucky commenter on the last show, and we had 3 different options that the winner will be able to choose from. So, Sandra, I need you to give me a number between 1 and 16. Make it good.
Okay.
It's a lot of pressure.
Between 1 and 16. Just one number, right?
Correct.
Just
Okay.
one.
Oh, gosh, my favorite number's not there, so I'm going to have to go with 15.
15. Oh, wait.
15.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Heather Hartman. I went the wrong way. You don't win.
Oh, man. That ain't right.
So the winner is Cheryl. So Cheryl's never won anything before. So Cheryl, I will be sending you an email to make arrangements with you. So congratulations.
Yay! That's fantastic.
That is. I have a really super special, awesome announcement to make.
You're pregnant?
And
Wow.
man, you just ruin everything.
It's a thunder
Having
thief.
Andy's baby. Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Oh my God.
Andy and I wanted, we wanted to make sure that you all found out at the same time, and we're very, very happy. And
It's a love child.
we're gonna name the baby Tits McGee in honor of Colette Moody. So no, that's not it.
Oh, all right.
The real. Damn it! The real super special announcement is that Cocktail Hour Productions is a co-sponsor of the upcoming Left Coast Lesbian Conference. So all of you fans and listeners, go to Palm Springs in October and do some fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yep.
Yay!
Yay!
Woo!
Woo! Yay! Yes.
Yay! Nobody's pregnant. Yay!
That's an extra yay.
That's a lie.
That's a hallelujah. Praise the Lord. I'm just throwing that out there. Oh, goodness. So we didn't just drag Sandra over here kicking and screaming. Oh, no. I mean, we tried, but, she's pretty sturdy. But she...
I'm a big girl.
But she did agree to. I don't know about that, but she did agree
solid.
to. And strong.
That's strong.
And strong, damn it.
Russian bull.
But she did agree to come on and talk about her first book, Letters Never Sent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, which just came out a couple days ago.
Yep, it's hot off the presses. So, are we supposed to do a non-spoiler show?
Yes.
I would. Yes, I'd appreciate that.
Okay, spoiler-free show. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. We're going. No, just kidding.
No spoilers.
All right, no spoilers. We'll try real hard not to have spoilers.
Okay.
All right. So anyway,
although actually, I was surprised that people thought that there was a spoiler to be spoiled because I didn't. I was surprised by that.
Well, do you want to give our listeners a summary of what the book's about?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It is a story that is told in two parts. It's told from the point of view of a daughter who had a very, very challenging relationship with her mother. The daughter's name is Joan, and the mother's name is Kate. And she never really understood why her mother was the way she was. And when her mother dies, she goes to Lawrence, Kansas, where she is cleaning out the house, and she finds the suitcase that contains a box, a wooden box that contains some theater tickets and some keys to an older car and a bullet casing and a packet of letters that her mother had written and dated, but had never sent, and they were wrapped up in this little package. And then you jump backward to 1920s Kansas, and then later 1930s Kansas, where you see her mother, and her mother is not content to stay in a small town outside of Kansas. She wants to go and experience life, and so she goes to Chicago, where she becomes a shop girl, a counter girl at the glove counter of Sears and Roebuck, and she interacts with a number of different people, including one woman whose name is Annie, who's a very outspoken feminist, and it changes her perception of life. So you get these two stories that really kind of parallel each other in ways that you wouldn't necessarily expect given the social norms of the 1930s and the 1990s. Mm-hmm. Essentially.
Nice. That was good.
Nice.
Yeah, that was great.
Good job.
Thanks. I teach for a living.
Rev, you want to lead off?
I can. This
or
is really
not.
hard.
Yeah, it is
Well,
hard.
it's hard because there's so much. There's so much to talk about with this book, but it makes it really, really challenging because you don't want to give away too much. But right off the bat, I did like the book a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I did like it quite a bit, and especially for your first book. I really enjoy your writing style a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I had mentioned to Nikki right away, because Andy and I don't talk about it. We haven't talked about it at all. But I mentioned to Nikki that I really like the way that you set the scene. Like there's one particular thing that I don't know why it stuck out to me, but when Joan, who's the daughter,
Yes.
First goes into her mom's house, and she's, kind of almost overwhelmed by the emotion. Even though she's really understated with it, you can still feel the I don't even know how to describe it, but she's
the tension, maybe.
Yeah, I guess she's had a really difficult relationship with her mom, and here she is going back to the home that she grew up in, and there's all these memories there, and there's one one small bit where you have her walk over to her mom's rocking chair and just with, just touching the top of the top bar of the back of the chair and sets it into motion. And I don't know why that particular thing, I could see it so clearly. Mm-hmm. It just, I don't know why that stuck with me. I mean, it's such a little tiny odd thing, but it really did. You really set a good scene. And
well, thank you.
Yeah,
you say that, and what I find interesting is that for me, going back and reading it, even though I wrote it, I read it and I'm like, oh wow. But there was one part where she first goes into the house, and the house is silent, and she stands there and she smells lemon pledge and her mom's perfume and the smell of a recently activated furnace. And for me, that's what resonated, strangely. Not that I've ever,
And I remember that too, because that is a really distinct smell. And maybe not for you, Andy, because you live in Florida.
I have no idea what that smells like.
But especially like the first couple of times during the season when you first turn on your furnace, that smell is really heavy in the house. And
it is. It's almost
just
accurate.
a really good job with that.
What is it like? What is it like? Burnt hair? What is it? What are we talking about?
No, it's kind of stale air a little bit, and burning. There's dust.
It's just this. It's this aroma of absence, almost. I think.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. You should write. That was really good.
I consider it if my career as a pet photographer doesn't work out, I'm definitely going to do that. No, but it's just that it's a smell. It's an aroma that once you smell, it's kind of like, all right, so a strange segue, but I worked for years as a newspaper reporter, and I covered the cop beat. And once I covered a lot of homicides and things like that. In fact, the year that I was covering cops in Topeka, Kansas, there were like 31 homicides, and I covered a fair number of them. And the thing is, once you smell a dead body, you never forget the smell of it. And it's the same thing with furnaces. Strange little connection there, but I mean, it's a very distinctive smell.
And trust me, when you live in South Florida, dead people are around here all the time because you get old people that just drop dead.
So there it is. You know what we're talking about.
I know what that smell is. Yeah, I definitely know what that smell is.
It's not the same smell, I hope.
Oh, God, no.
No.
Actually, I kind of wish it was the same smell, because that would be much more pleasant for you.
Yes, to smell furnace as opposed to, rotting flesh.
Yeah, rotting corpses do not smell good. Yeah.
But, I mean, it's one of those really distinctive smells that once you smell it, you will always associate it with something specific, an actual experience.
All right.
Not that that's dark or anything, because I'm not.
No. That's awesome. Yeah. So back to the story.
Yeah, the spoiler-free story.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this story. I kind of was a little bit hesitant at first because of the immediate, not necessarily a flashback, but the change of time period. I'm thinking, oh no, but I stuck with it, and I was so happy that I did, because by the time I shut the book, I was like, wow, that was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really, really, really did enjoy it, and like Sherry, some things just hung with me, and it doesn't, like for instance when the characters were outside of the Sears store, and it's cold, and they're having a cigarette, and the whole process of lighting it and exhaling the smoke, and I could just visualize them, because you had set that scene so well. I could just visualize them standing there talking together, and it was just so enjoyable all the way around. There's all kinds of little moments that really catapult you into feeling like you're there with those characters, enjoying that moment with them.
Well, thank you. And I did. I did a fair amount of research. I actually went to Chicago and I walked the routes that they would have walked. I went to the boarding houses that they would have, or the buildings today that would have been boarding houses, and I picked out where their room would have been, what their windows would have been. And did a lot of research. For example, like with the cigarettes, the fact that they wore gloves so often.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just something that you had to think about as you were describing these scenes. That and little things like they didn't have Kleenex. They didn't have all these things that, we would immediately reach for. They would have a handkerchief.
Yeah.
So
and which one was it? Was it Catherine that thought that handkerchiefs were disgusting?
Yes,
Was that Annie?
it was.
Okay.
No, that was
made me
Catherine.
laugh.
That was Catherine. Yeah.
Yeah. At one point when I was reading this, and you talked about the Chicago World's Fair, and I remembered that one of the items in that box was shell casing, and
Yes.
and obviously as a reader that something scary is going to be ahead, right? And even though I know that the serial killer that had a lair at the
you're
time.
thinking of the World's Fair right before.
Right.
That was before that.
So I was thinking H.H. Holmes and the Devil in the White City. I'm thinking, is she going to incorporate some kind of mass murder in here? What's going on?
No, but the really cool thing, sadly, no.
Yeah, because that was a different time period. That was 1893 or so, I think.
That was, it was, I think you're right, or 89 perhaps. Yeah, but the cool thing
it
is.
was in the 90s, yeah.
No. I
Was
think
it?
it was, no, it was.
It was like 1890 something.
It was 18.
It was 1893. I was just looking at that book today.
Oh, the Devil in the White City?
Eric
The
Larson.
Devil in White City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the cool thing about that is that if you look at what would have been the 33 fairgrounds, because I walked all over that with my mom, incidentally, you can actually look over and see remnants of the earlier World's Fair, and they have a museum that you can go to, and you can see all sorts of amazing stuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, so what happened was I stopped reading the story to go look at because I couldn't remember who that serial killer was, and then I looked him up, the H.H. Holmes guy, and then I found out that the time periods were off. But I thought, oh wow, she's going to incorporate some really cool serial killer, and then went, I guess not.
Oh no, sorry.
But it was still
really, really sad.
It was still cool though. Damn it! Just saying. Just throwing that out.
I know.
It would have been really good if you'd included
had
a serial killer.
Hey, come on now. That's not what I meant.
Well, I'm still in the middle of the one I'm working on now, so I could probably add that.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. Can you put us in the dedication for that?
That'd be great.
Absolutely.
And thanks to my
Absolutely.
drunken friends at Cocktail Hour. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing, it takes place on a bus, so that would make it, kind of tricky.
What is that? Quasi Speed 1940? What are we talking here?
Can you imagine all these people just kind of dropping dead on a bus?
No.
It's like snakes on a plane, but really not.
Arthritis on a bus.
Death on a bus.
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
So back to the book.
So,
Back to the book. Back to the lack of serial killer book.
yeah, right.
Yeah, which was really sad, and the book would have been so much better if there'd have been a lot more death. But there is some death in the book.
There is death.
There is death, so there's that. We can be happy about that.
And sex.
Yeah. And what?
And sex.
Yeah, and sex.
Mm-hmm.
And
Death
there's a
and
little bit of
sex.
sex. Yeah.
But-
There is some
yeah.
sex.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah, of course there is.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I did want to say that I thought that the chemistry between Catherine and Annie was really good. But you could, as I'm reading it, I'm with the whole because here's the thing, Catherine has such a difficult time, and I don't think this is a spoiler at all.
No.
She has such a difficult time trying to accept the fact that she's gay, I don't think she ever really says the words, but she battles with it, and that's the really just a huge part of the story, and it's you were really able to see just how young she was, and how sheltered in where she grew up and her cultural background. It seemed very true to what it would have been, and you can really tell that you did a lot of research in the book. Because the way that you described the buildings. Oh, and I love the card catalog. Yay!
Oh God, right?
Yeah.
And pneumatic
the thing that I found amazing was the tube system.
Yeah, the
at the
pneumatic
library,
tube.
where you would have to, and I spent, I'd say probably an hour with one of the librarians where they would they told me all about it. I mean, you would have to go, you'd have to look up the book, you'd have to fill out this little slip of paper, give it to the librarian, who would then send it in a tube to the stacks where they would choose the books for you or pull them out, and then send them back for you to eventually pick up and check out. It's an amazing system.
Which would really suck. Yeah. I mean, that is an amazing system, but I mean, part of the wonder of going to the library is to cruise the stacks, and,
I know.
And pick out
to
stuff.
Run your fingers over the books and
but not to mention they see all the things that everybody knows what you're checking out.
Exactly. And one of the things that books were, I hope that came through, but books were a really big part of the chemistry between Kate and Annie. The reading, the written word, the ideas and the concepts, because Annie came from such a very different place, not just geographically, but also just in terms of what she was reading, the ideas and the concepts, and how she approached life, as opposed to Kate, who came from this very, very small town, 1920s Kansas, where, a very poor family, and didn't necessarily have access to what she considered this more risque, intellectual commentary that was going on. For example, I found it so interesting that The Great Gatsby came out just recently.
Oh, yeah, I did too. I was thinking, oh, hey.
Yeah, and
did you plan that?
Yeah, I really did. I called Leonardo. I called Leo. I call him L Dog is what I call him. And I said, hey, dude, you should remake The Great Gatsby. And he said, okay, Sandra. That's what he said. That's awesome. The whole conversation. Yeah. That's all we had to say. We connect that way.
That's awesome. And it really, that's such a great connection between the two stories. That's awesome.
I couldn't have planned it better, actually. But you had that fascinating, time period juxtaposed against where Kate came from. And I think that's part of why she struggled, not to mention the fact that she came from a very religious, small community where God and the church and community is everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's one thing that there's a lot that I would like to comment on, but we can't.
For spoiler reasons. We can talk about some things. I mean,
maybe we can do it this way. So when Kate is in Chicago, because she goes home. She goes home for a couple of times to visit, and on one of the second time that she goes home to visit that we read about, her mom decides that she wants to come back with her and see Chicago, and really she really wants her to. She really wants some time to talk her into coming back.
Exactly.
And settling down and getting married and doing what she is supposed to do, which Kate is like, you know what, that's not what I want to do at all. But some stuff happens there, and really Kate is kind of pushed into a corner to make a choice about what type of life she wants to lead. And, her mom gives her an ultimatum, and I love the fact that Kate essentially, because I really expected her just to immediately go, okay, I'm sorry, I'll come home now, and she doesn't, and I thought that was definitely a big step in her growing up. Of course, some other things happen, and it's like it's really up and down with them, but I can't say very much.
No.
Well, you know what? That reminds me of a friend of mine who just read this book, and she said that was one of the things she liked about it, that it felt like a real story. It wasn't sappy or artificially sweet, and it wasn't perfect either. That these people, they had attraction. They came together, they pushed apart, you know what I mean? I mean, it was like real interaction of real people, regardless of whether it was in the 30s or more modern day. I mean, you felt these characters. They weren't just...
Well, and I think they were both enormously flawed, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Annie was...
She was really, really hard. She was very hard-headed and not really understanding at all of. I mean, I think she tried to be initially, but she really got to the point where she was pretty much, you know what, you're not going to do exactly what I need you to do, so.
Yeah, fuck
and that
you.
was really unfair because like you said, they come from very different places.
Yeah, but
she didn't seem to be trying to understand what Andy.
Yeah, but I mean that's true. But she's had a lot more experience than Kate as well, so she could pick up on those. I mean, I don't know. I think that Annie read Kate really well.
No, she did, but I still think that she, I don't think that she was as understanding. Toward that time when Kate had gone back to Kansas and then brought her mom back with her. I really thought that she was overly demanding and it was easier for Kate. I mean, I'm sorry, it was easier for Annie because she didn't have family to worry about. She had already lost that, and she really had more of that attitude where I'm going to do what I want to do, and the world.
I want you to.
Ask.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I want you to, and she kind of seemed to expect Kate to kind of be exactly the same way, but she still had so many ties to her family, and she didn't want to lose that. I mean, I understand that Annie was really frustrated because I would have wanted the same thing. I would have wanted this exact same thing that Annie wanted, but. I don't know. I mean, it hadn't been all that long. I mean, I guess if it had been, a few years and she was still dragging her feet, I'd have been like, well, screw you. Where's Margie at? Because I'm ready.
Oh, Margie. Yeah. But
go ahead, Andy. Andy wants to argue more.
No, I'm good.
No.
Really?
No, come on, Andy.
No, I'm good.
No? Am I being unreasonable?
No, I don't think you're being unreasonable at all. I think, I don't know, I guess I relate more to Annie than I do to Kate. So, I mean, I can understand that.
Well, I'm
Annie's
curious about this. How so?
Well, Annie's a little more worldly. She's like, I'm not here on this earth to be, to make my family happy. I got to live for, who I am, what I want, and, fuck everything else. I mean, that's Annie to me. And so I can understand how she might be a little bit short with Kate because Kate does this waffle thing. And, that would drive me nuts. So maybe I just relate too much to Annie.
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
Maybe a little bit too much, yeah.
But Andy, are you taking into consideration the time and
because it was 1934, so
right.
I mean,
if you got enough,
and the way that Kate had been raised,
you know what? If you got enough ovaries to leave your family, whether on good terms or not, and move to the big city to have big city experiences and be independent, then I think that if you've already done that, then it's not unreasonable to think that the next series of steps of maintaining your independence and knowing what you want in the direction is easy to do. Well, somewhat easy to do. And I understand that Kate had a very different background than Annie did. I get that. But sometimes her her self-doubt or, what her
Reticence.
process was, made me a little antsy, I was like, I just kind of wanted to just kind of shake her, It's like,
It's interesting that you say that because a lot of people want to shake Kate, but then I find that there are a lot of people who also are like, Annie, back off. Give her a little bit of time to reconcile herself to the fact that she's not who she thought she was.
See, I could go both ways. I understand that she needed some time, but and that Annie was a little pushy, but I still wanted to shake Kate almost all the time.
Yeah.
Almost all the
And
time.
sometimes slap her. I wanted to just hit her.
That's
And let's face it, Kate is not entirely likable.
No, and you
yeah.
and you owned that. You I don't know if you owned that, but you didn't try to candy coat that at all. I mean,
No, that was
through
intentional.
Joan.
Yeah, that was refreshing.
Through Joan and through Mrs. Yoakum, everybody knew that she was unpleasant.
Yeah.
She was kind of a shitty mother. I mean, to be honest, she really was. And I can understand why Joan had a lot of why she was so angry.
Well, without doing any spoilers on that issue, because that's a big spoiler if I let that one go.
We can't talk about.
But I gotta say, I almost kind of understand why Kate was a shitty mother. I kind of almost understand it. Yep.
I mean, the circumstances that surrounded that whole thing that we're not talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I can't.
And as a writer, I have to say, I hesitated. I feel like maybe I pulled back a little bit from that. I think that it could have been a lot more, what's the word I want? Not shocking, but it could have been a lot more.
You could have done it a lot more graphically.
I could have, yes.
I'm glad you didn't.
But I'm glad that you didn't.
Yeah.
Me too.
It was just right. It was just the right amount of shock and awe.
Yeah. And okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say that it was very it was emotional and kind of shocking and I think instead of kind of forcing that on in more detail or whatever onto the reader, the way that you handle the follow up and I think that was great, and I think that made it. I think we didn't miss out on anything because it wasn't more graphic and shocking.
Yeah.
Because of the way that you followed up.
Absolutely.
Right. I would be really interested as a writer to know, from your point of view, as people who were reading this and not knowing like all of the backstory that I created in my head of the characters, what did you think of the decisions that Kate made later in the book that led to the situation that we're talking about, but not really talking about?
Oh wow!
That started after when her mom was in Chicago.
Right.
I thought it was totally believable.
Yeah.
I mean, I still thought it was. Okay, when she didn't follow up for information, I thought that was crap, and I think that I didn't. That was probably one of the only things that not necessarily calling full bullshit on, but
but she chose not to.
Easy way out.
No, but
exactly, and that was intentional because she was taking that easy way out herself.
Yeah, and I think it was very apparent. Plus, it's a good way to keep the tension going for the remainder of the book. Mm-hmm. But yes, you're right. She did take the easy way out, and you're right. It's another one of those you wanted to shake Kate moments.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I love that Annie calls her on that.
Annie
you took the easy way out.
Mince words.
No,
she doesn't mince words.
Yep.
She's about a bold woman too.
And quite frankly,
for the time, yeah,
and
absolutely.
Can I just say one thing? I'm hoping it's not a spoiler, but can I say ooh that she married Clyde? Ooh.
Well,
I mean,
come
come
on. We know that she married Clyde because, of Joan. Yeah, I mean, we know that
But
right out of the gate. But here's the thing.
Ew.
After having married two of her sisters.
I know, that's why I'm saying ooh. Gross. What is
the
this?
only other dude was done.
Ugh.
He was out of the picture.
It doesn't, I mean, why didn't she just be a freaking spinster? I understand why you didn't, because in that being in the book, bye-bye. but, ew, come on.
Yeah. Well, and here's
he
the
was
thing.
a nice guy.
Well,
I mean,
but he was a nice guy that she knew, who didn't want to pressure her into anything. It was going to be an easy, marriage. And they liked each other. They were friends to a degree. So why not? And
because he was because he was dipping his wick in his sister and her sisters. Hello, gross.
Well, here's the thing, though. I did a fair amount of research on this, and it's not uncommon for a widower to marry the sister of his dead spouse. It happened fairly frequently.
Yeah.
Strangely.
And it makes sense, because who's going to comfort him and offer, who's going to offer him support but the family?
Yeah, but the women in that time period, were still considered property. So friends or not, he would still have ownership of her, and she would still be under that thumb, whether their arrangement changed or not.
Yeah, but it didn't.
Well, it did.
I can't. But we can't say all that.
Damn it! This spoiler-free show.
Okay, I take back what I said before about the surprise aspect, because you're absolutely right. As we're talking about this, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess there's. Oh, and then there's that. Well, and then there's Okay.
Well, why don't we take a call? We have two.
Oh yes, we do. Wow. We have two. Yay! All right, so
I dropped a second one in the box a little while ago.
I will. Okay, here's the. Yes, Nikki, we remember to play it. Here it goes.
Oh, Nikki.
Hi, guys. It's Nikki. I'm calling in for the show for Sandra. And I want to say, number one, I really enjoyed the book very, very much. I got really invested in the characters. I loved it. And I wanted to know what direction you're going to go with your next books, and whether you're going to do, romance, or whether you're going to go into more complicated, twisty plots and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, if you could answer that, that'd be awesome. Or if not, whatever. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.
First of all, let me say that I adore Nikki. She
awesome?
Kills me.
She's awesome.
She's so funny.
Yeah, she is.
I follow her on Facebook.
She has a migraine right now.
Did you see the
that's why
pictures
she
of
sounded
her?
a little rough.
Did you see the pictures of her doing like the dirty girl? She looked like a warrior. She was covered with filth.
Yeah, she was a little filthy.
Yeah, good for her.
She's a filthy, filthy woman.
She is filthy.
Word on the street, yes.
Yep.
That's what I've heard. In answer to her question, I actually have two other books that are written, and I'm working on a fourth right now. And the one that I am doing edits on that potentially could be the next one to come out is a book called Nudge, and it's about an advertising executive, a woman, who is commissioned by God to write a New Testament to all of the world's religious texts. And so for the Bible, for example, it would be the New Testament. It would be an addendum for the Quran. And essentially, this woman's job is to write this New Testament with the help of a variety of different scholars and then market it to the masses. So that's one that I'm working on right now. Just a small little thing. And then the one that I'm about halfway finished with that could potentially actually be the next one is very cleverly titled Untitled Manuscript Number 4. And yeah, I know. Super creative. And it starts starts with a bus crash on a bus that's going from New York to Boston. And it goes, it starts with the bus crash, and then it goes back a day before, and then 6 months before, a year before, and 2 years before. And it follows 4 people that are on the bus that are actually connected to each other, that they don't necessarily realize it. One is a lesbian female, obviously, funeral director, because they don't make male lesbians, they call them straight men. And so one is a funeral director who's going to a conference to meet this woman that she had this semi-anonymous tryst with a year before. One of them is a paramedic who got addicted to painkillers while he was working and is not a particularly nice person. One is a risk analyst, which I find really ironic given that the bus crashes. And then the fourth one is a 10-year-old boy whose name is Bug, who is being shuttled from place to place to place. And ironically, turns out that, or not so ironically, that his aunt that he's going to stay with is the woman that the main character, Maggie, is going to meet. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Lost on a bus.
Kind of, yes. Again, the bus.
The bus.
The bus.
All right,
Death
cool.
on a bus.
Do people die on the bus?
I can't tell you.
Wow,
but
she
it
got a
starts
list.
out with a crash.
Oh.
That's what I'm thinking. So
And
I
it's
mean,
told
I think we
and
could.
it's told backwards, so yeah.
Lost on a bus.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
No,
So-
And
death
then it
on a
turns
bus.
out that they're all in purgatory. And then this Australian guy named Desmond shows up with this guy with lots of knives. His name is John Locke. And this really large man
John
named
Locke.
Hurley. It's really strange. It's weird.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Interesting.
I made that last part up.
I
you know.
bet you
Oh.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when do you think you might be having another book come out?
I am hoping after the first of the year.
Oh, all right. It's not too far away.
No, not at all.
No, we've got spots open up next year.
Yeah.
Well, then sign me up, you
Woo!
guys.
All right.
Woo-hoo.
Awesome.
All right. So, shall we go to the next call?
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
not my sister, is it? Because
I
I told
don't-
her she could
I don't know.
call.
I don't know who it is. Here we go.
I may have gone on Facebook and said she could call. I don't know. I mean, who can say what happened?
I hope not, because she has stories that don't need to be.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Mm.
We're going to find out right now.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
Maybe.
Yes, this question is for Sandra Moran. My question is, she has been a major influence in my life as she is my sister, and so my question would be, who has been the most major influence in her life, and how that has impacted her direction in life, and what was the biggest and good event in her life?
Wow.
Like,
That was
These
my
are
sister.
really light, easy questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So, wow. So probably the biggest influence in my life would be our mother, Sandra Moran, who is this amazing woman who was incredibly creative when we were kids. She used to make us like treasure maps to find Twizzlers and all sorts of stuff. Wow. And what was the other part of the question? Let's.
I think it was something about your what has been something that influenced your direction in life, and what was the best event of your life, I think.
Holy smokes, Lori. Holy smokes.
Well, I mean, obviously, I think we can answer the third one. We can answer the best event right now.
That's right.
Right.
I mean,
is
yeah.
the public.
This would have to be it.
Yeah, cocktail
This-
hour.
Yes, and this has been amazing. And I would like to say I have been overwhelmed and humbled by the amount of support I've gotten from the lesbian community and from just my friends and family in this endeavor. They've just been amazing. I can't thank them enough. So yeah, yeah, I think that answers it. And probably the biggest event in my life was a series of events, and that comes from just if I was presented with an opportunity, I took it. That's how I got into politics. That's how I got into archaeology. That's how I got into writing. And so, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
well, thank you.
Nice.
Thanks. I've led a really fortunate life, so no complaints.
That's awesome. I was thinking about this, and for somebody whose first book has just come out,
Right.
Just come out. I've seen you all over the place. In the lesbian community, which I was really kind of shocked to find out that this was your first book, because you're just kind of like, boom, I'm Sandra Moran and I'm here.
That's right.
Again, I am amazed at how many people who don't even know me, share links, who have seen my arguably fantastic pet photography, and just recognize that I got mad skills, yo. Yeah.
You do got mad skills.
I do.
That's awesome.
You've seen some of the pictures, I hope.
Yeah, actually.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't. No.
Oh. Facebook. Hello.
Yeah. Lots of.
I fail. I fail at Facebook. I really do.
That's not right.
They're action shots, really. Kind of black blurs across the screen. I don't like to brag, but I really have a gift.
That's too damn funny.
Sure. Yeah, you should check them out. They're pretty good.
Most definitely, yeah. I think it's time to play the game. What do y'all think?
All right, let's play the game.
Wait, I have one more question.
Oh, you have a question?
Oh, please.
Oh, sorry.
Please.
Go ahead.
I do. When we were talking about how well you paint the scenes, and this question popped in my head, which I don't think we've ever asked anybody before. Who would you, if Letters Never Sent was going to be made into a movie today, who would you cast as Kate and Annie while they're in Chicago during that time frame?
Fantastic question. Fantastic. All right, for Annie, I very much imagine Ellen Page from Juno. I can see her, particularly with the big brown eyes, because that's the thing that I think, for me, when I think about Annie, I think of her as very diminutive, but these really big brown eyes with long lashes. And for Kate, I can't, the name of the actress escapes me, but there's a show on PBS called The Midwife. I don't know if you're familiar with it. She is the main character, and oh gosh,
I've got Miranda Hart.
No.
What's the name of the person that she plays?
Oh gosh, she's the main character, and I'm drawing a complete blank.
I know there are listeners right now screaming
her name. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right, so
Jenny
I'm googling
Lee,
it.
Is this Jessica Raine?
It's yes.
Okay.
Yeah, pull up her picture if you can. That is,
Oh.
and the thing is, I didn't know about her when I wrote Letters, but when I look at her, I see Kate. I think
I pictured Kate more with lighter hair. Maybe.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the face is very much what I imagined.
Yeah.
And Annie, Ellen Page, absolutely. When I pulled that up, I could totally see that. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yay for me. You asked a good
that
question.
was a fantastic question, because the funny thing is, several people have asked me, and I was like, gosh, I don't know. And then I got to looking at actresses. Those were the two that immediately resonated.
I think it's interesting that you say that other people have asked you that, and it makes me wonder if other people have had the same type of experience that I had with the imagery that you create being so vivid. You know, that we wanted to know who you would envision in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, well, thank you. And if you guys are interested, I have a bunch of pictures of, the time period.
Oh, heck
In
yeah.
fact, there's a picture that I have from the 1933 World's Fair that I found at the museum that shows this massive crowd of people, and you see these two women who are walking arm in arm,
Aw.
and they are Kate and Annie. And I saw the picture, I was like, holy shit, that's them.
Sweet.
It's this beautiful black and white picture. I'll send it to
Oh
you.
yeah, send it.
Yeah, send
for
it to me.
sure.
I'll put it in the post. That's one other thing I did want to bring up is the cover was fantastic, and I saw that was Anne, right? That was Anne McMahon that did that cover, right?
She did.
That is a great cover.
Isn't that the best cover? And the picture that you see on the front of the woman holding the child, and then if you look, you can see the picture of the girl looking out that window.
Yes, yes, but we can't talk about that right now. But yes,
no, we can't. That's actually a family photo of mine that I sent her. Yeah. And then she pulled,
that's awesome.
and her attention to detail is amazing. I mean, she pulled like the stamp from the 33 World's Fair, the picture of the women eating ice cream. I mean, she is amazingly talented. That is
the way that she has the letter underneath.
Yeah,
that was fantastic. Yeah. After I got done reading it, I mean, I looked at the cover beforehand, and I was like, oh, that's a really clean, wonderful cover. It drops us into the time period with those photos, and it's it's subtle and it's nice, and then so I glance at it and acknowledge the niceness of the cover, and then after I got done with the book, I remembered that there were photos on the cover, and after I finished the book, I immediately went to the cover and paid extra attention, and the details with the woman behind,
there are layers
of the window and the letter. Yeah,
there are layers
fantastic.
upon layers upon layers in that cover. And we talked about it just briefly. And there's some really great, if you have some time to go on YouTube, there's some amazing black and white, really rough video of the 1933 World's Fair. Of course, there's no sound, but you can see, and she was pulling up postcards, and she was pulling up pictures and looking at video, and we talked about like Sally Rand with the fan dance, and I mean all of that stuff. She was such a joy to work with. Thank you for appreciating that, because she's fantastic.
I loved it. There are a lot of us that I think we've mentioned it on the show before, but I know that I've had conversations with a lot of different people about how crappy a lot of lesbian novel covers are, and I think they're getting better all the time, but there are still a lot of really shitty covers out there, and this one really stood out to me before I knew that it was Anne's work. Once I found out it was Anne's, I liked it even more because I like Anne a lot. But you can tell that, a lot of times folks don't, the cover artists don't get a lot of information about what the story is. And I think that has a lot to do with, not being able to really connect with the cover. But with this particular cover, what it said to me is that whoever had done it really had paid attention to the story, and they that was just a really good cover. So
you're absolutely right. And as kind of a backstory for that, I was very, very interested in. I was trying to convince my agents in New York that I wanted to write lesbian fiction that could be crossover mainstream. And they were like, well, get us some information to show that there's actually a market for this. I'm like, you guys, there really is. So I contacted a handful of authors, Emma Donahue, Anne McMahon, just a handful of authors. Anne got back to me, as did Emma Donahue, who was fantastic. And Anne and I really talked, and we communicated, and she asked if she could see the manuscript. And so she really is the reason why this book is out, is because she then forwarded it to Bedazzled Ink.
She is just awesome. And for you listeners who may be interested and didn't know, Anne's been on the show twice. So if you want to listen to, and both of them are great shows, so go listen to those. And Anne was just on Barbell over just the other day with Bev Prescott. And Andy, you were there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if,
I made all like 5 comments. That was it. 5 words.
Well, you were really there for tech support.
I know. It was a fun show though. Anne is really, she's just fun to listen to. You just shut the hell up, just sit there and listen. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's got that great accent too.
Yeah,
just
right.
Kind of this drawl kind of.
She's awesome.
Anne McMahon, famous author.
Famous author.
She is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we should play the game. Okay,
Let's
sorry,
play the
Andy. I just had to do that.
That's you. Go ahead. Let's play the game.
Andy?
Oh.
That double's kicking in, ain't it?
It is. Good God.
Where's that sour?
Oh, Lordy. All right. Who would you fuck?
In the book.
In the book. Yes, in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
okay,
my
not
God.
mine.
All right. Who wants to start out?
So I would like to know who you guys would.
We're starting out.
Go ahead, Andy.
All right. Well, it's hearkening back to a conversation we had with author Rachel Spangler. I would do Annie, but it's kind of like masturbation. I'm just saying.
Okay. I'm not sure I understand why that would be, but okay.
Because she's so much like...
Because I'm so much like Annie.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's the connection.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, so...
So you're taking Annie?
I'm taking Annie, yeah.
Now,
I'm
once someone is taken, are they off the table?
No.
Or how's it?
No, we
off the
share.
table.
It's fine.
All right.
Yeah, we're good at sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, Sherry, so who would you tryst with?
Tryst.
This is really difficult. It's a difficult because I think Kate is pretty passionate once she gets going.
After a few false starts.
Now.
Oh man, come on now! Don't be so hard on her.
I couldn't help it. All right, go ahead.
But I don't know. I may pick Margie.
Well, and don't forget there's Joan too. I mean, we haven't even talked about Joan, the daughter.
No, okay. This is what I'm going to do.
All right. Okay.
I'm picking Mrs. Yoakum.
You ass. Now I can't say what I want to say because they'd give it away. Damn it.
That's great. Go for the geriatric.
I enjoy the older women.
She likes moms, yeah.
Apparently. Yeah.
So in the 30s, I would take Margie, and in 1997,
something wasn't she?
I'd bring a bottle of whiskey and take Mrs. Yoakum out.
Brilliant.
Like a Greek bearing gifts.
Classy hooch.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Did you notice she asked for the big leader?
Yeah.
The big box.
Plastic one.
Why mess around?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right.
She doesn't get out much.
No, she doesn't.
Nope.
I mean,
It's tough to get around.
A woman needs her hooch. I'm just saying.
That's right. Truer words, my friend.
All right. So, okay, Sandra, who would you take out?
Who would I take on? Well, gosh. See, here's the thing. I know them both. I know all of them so well that I would hesitate to get involved with any of them because they've all got some issues. But
it's just a one night thing.
Just a one night thing.
Yeah, it's just a one night thing.
I would say Annie. Yeah, I go with Annie.
Woo!
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go.
She is apparently the gal du jour.
She's Madame Tristalot. Yeah.
Tits McGee.
Which is not a real term, but I think we should make it one.
I like it. Yeah, I like that.
Like cocktailarians.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's kind of like Whovians for Doctor Who, but it's
right.
cocktailarians.
Yeah, we don't do Doctor Who. Mm-mm. I don't do Doctor Who. I can't speak for Sherry, but no.
No, I've tried. I watched I started to watch the first episode of the new ones, and I just couldn't get into it. I'll try again.
It was like 30 minutes in going, is this over yet?
I like David Tennant, the one before Matt Smith, because Matt Smith has no eyebrows, and honestly, I don't trust people without eyebrows. It's just a thing for me.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You should get that on a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Well,
I have this great idea for bumper stickers that are like dry erase, so you can put whatever you want on your bumper sticker, whatever day you felt.
Nice.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
You could do that with like a magnet and put it on your trunk.
Yes.
They have the
but then that shit would get stolen. Seriously, there's some asshole out there who would steal that.
It's cheap.
Here's the other thing too. I don't know if any cars have metal bumpers anymore. Aren't they all plastic?
You'd have to put it on the trunk.
Yeah, I guess you're
right.
Yeah.
You have to put it on the bumper. Yeah.
All right. So,
all right. Well, we've got more stuff.
I know we've got. Yeah, we can't wrap it up quite just yet because
it's a deep conversation, isn't it?
What? Because Sandra is going to be fantastic and. What the hell was that?
Give away some books.
Yeah, give away some. I couldn't find a good lead in.
I lost you guys for a little bit. I didn't hear the first part of that sentence. Although I heard that I'm fantastic and I love that.
Well, you are fantastic. You are fantastic. No doubt.
Sweet talk.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. And just imagine, drunk. It would get better if I weren't drinking. Yeah, but since I haven't been drinking, yeah, we're talking about how fantastic you are that you're going to do a book giveaway for us.
I am. I actually have 2 copies of Letters Never Sent that I will be happy to give away, and you can choose between ebook or paperback, although the paperback is not going to be published until September 1st.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't very long, so
yeah,
if you want a personalized copy, it's well worth the wait.
Exactly, and I will happily autograph either or. So whichever you want. The other thing I should mention.
There's more.
Wait.
There's
Bedazzled Ink has very generously agreed that they will, if you go to Bedazzled Book Peddler, which is their distributor on their website, you'll get a 25% discount on Letters Never Sent.
Nice.
Yeah.
That rocks.
So.
Just because you guys love Cocktail Hour. I mean, really.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Well, this is specific to Cocktail Hour.
That's right.
Yes. It's an exclusive.
I'm sorry?
It's an exclusive.
It is an exclusive. It's just for you guys.
Woo!
Yep.
And it applies to Letters Never Sent and...
It applies to Letters Never Sent, and if it is not available to you, you can actually use that for another book. For example, Anne McMahon's book.
Right.
Yeah, she has several out.
Nice.
Keeping it in the family. I like how you just circle that right around. That's fantastic.
That's because I'm hard for.
That is nice. Yeah. All right. So our next show is what, the 24th, I think?
The 24th, and I'm very excited about this particular show.
I know,
because the author is one of my favorites.
Yep.
Who?
Jay.
It's Jay.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, Jay was on once before, but she's now with a new publisher, and Second Nature has just come out, and it's quite a bit. There's a lot of different stuff going on. It's been revised pretty heavily. So I did read it. I finished reading it last week, and I loved it before. I loved it even more this time because I was able to get into it a lot faster.
Oh, that's good.
And we've got super special giveaway stuff for that show.
All right, well, we'll just, save that for later. But in the meantime, listeners have until, midnight of the 23rd to get their comments in, so they'll be eligible for a drawing for Letters Never Sent.
Excellent.
Yes.
All right, fantastic.
Yes. Yay.
Yes, we'll be picking 2 of you people.
Yep. Well, Sandra, this has been a whole buttload of fun.
It has been. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
Yeah, we'll have to have you back again when we can do a non-spoiler-free show. Thank you.
That's right. After everyone's read it, we can talk about, well, what did you think about that?
Oh, my God. This is so hard because they just want to just keep, you want to really talk about specific scenes and situations, and you can't. You just, it's like nail biting.
I have to give you guys credit. You were really good about not giving away anything. Kudos to you.
Yeah, and there's a lot to give away.
I know, right?
Between,
oh, my God.
Especially that second half of the book,
yep.
Shit just starts happening, and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh. Yeah,
it's so, she's right. She's absolutely right.
I'm trying to imagine you reading that going, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
But so listeners, definitely, can you hear my dogs barking?
No.
No? Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, no, I just heard him now.
That's great. So listeners, seriously, go get this book, read it, and make sure you reach out to Sandra and give her some love because
thank you.
You deserve it for this one.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not just pandering. It really is a very good book.
Thank you so much for saying that. You really can't imagine how much that means. I really appreciate that.
Well,
you did all the work. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
Come on now.
All we did was sit down and read it.
That's right. We had the easy time of it. Although, like Sherry said, though, we got a little anxious. There are certain parts where you're like, what? Oh, because I think my neighbors must think I'm an epileptic or some shit because I'm like all over the chair. What the hell? I'm jumping around.
I wanted to say that Nikki and I both thought that you wouldn't like it very much, Andy.
Really? No, I liked it.
Because of the flashbacks.
I always have a problem with flashbacks. I always do. And it really does depend on how the author can craft them. And this one, it wasn't difficult.
Well, yeah, thank you. I think to understand how you got to the present, in this instance, they really are pretty necessary.
Yes, because I don't think the story would have had the same impact if you would have written it in a straight timeline. No, I think the impact comes from doing the flashbacks, and Sherry's right. I don't particularly like flashbacks, but this one, it worked. So, kudos.
So I have to ask you guys, were you surprised by the ending?
No.
Okay. I started to suspect really, really early, but then I was like, no, I can't, no. And then I was telling my wife about it, and I was really vague, and all of my descriptions about everything, and I was like, and then there's so-and-so, and da-da-da-da-da, and she's like, oh, it's and I was like, God damn it, I hate you.
Yeah, no, yeah.
She knew immediately, but that's okay. I just got a text from Nikki that says, don't forget to tell Sandra you think she's dreamy, because I had mentioned that I had a little crush on you.
Oh my God. Well, thank you. I'm incredibly flattered. Thank you.
And if I wasn't, mostly in the bag from this double whiskey sour, I never would have said that.
Well, I mean, she is a cutie pie.
You are. You're tall and funny and smart and cute.
Yeah, what's not to like?
Really.
I'm tall. Yeah. Thank you.
What's not to like? Come on now.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. There.
Well, thank you.
But we don't have time to go into my alien story from Flagstaff, so I'm really sorry about that.
I want to hear it because I want to hear it.
All right, so how about this? Okay. Let's say goodbye to listeners, and then we can talk offline because we are way over time. So, Sandra, thank you again for coming on. You were fantastic. I liked the book. I think Sherry did too, clearly. And listeners, make sure you get your butts out there and buy a copy.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
Sherry, thank you as always for being there, darling. You are the bomb.
No.
Love you, and I'm happy to be having your baby.
Oh, that's right, the love child.
Wait, having my baby. Oh, see?
Oh, my God, I was just going to sing it. I would sing that to her regularly. She hates that song.
I did. That song sucks. All right, so long, everybody.
Bye.